And we have the pink Zerg here spawning in the bottom right hand corner, representing 9th Legion, PulSe. And his opponent, the yellow Terran, representing Clan Tor, we have DanO. And the game is now on the way, and it'll be interesting to see what these players decide to go. This is the quarterfinals, round of 8, and it is a best of 3, and I do believe this isn't the first game of the series. I'm not exactly sure on what the scores are, so I have just joined in now, but the play we will see will be high quality. This is the quarterfinals, like I said before, and there is prizes up for grabs. I believe there is C player points along with some prize cash if these guys do manage to take out the entire tournament. We do have Paul sending out a drone for scouting, while DanO does get up a refinery and his barracks. DanO will get a lot of options with that gas. He can opt to get some harassment with a Reaper, or he could go into Hellions or Hellbat drops. And PulSe is putting down his natural expansion and typical hatch first build on 15 supply, and PulSe is trying to pick off this SCV, but the barracks does manage to finish, and PulSe just trying to be as annoying as he can. DanO managing to keep his SCV alive, and DanO pulling 3 SCVs, and it looks like an engineering bay coming down. So PulSe will have to see what he's going to do to react against this. The pool has gone down, and the gas. He hasn't started mining gas until now, so I thought he might have changed his idea when he saw that engineering bay. But no, he goes on to mine the gas. He probably did chuck it down, and looks like the engineering bay was cancelled, so maybe he used that to bluff against PulSe, or maybe just to block off that and drone from annoying him further. And DanO with his first Reaper on the way, and he is heading across the map towards PulSe's base. We have 2 queens on the way now for PulSe, and let's see how much damage DanO can get done with this Reaper. The queen, which will be the main source of defense, are not out yet. It's just damaging a few drones, and now 4 lings are now on the map, and he's yet to get a kill, so this is well fended off by PulSe. A few drones were damaged by this, but and a second Reaper does join the fray, so DanO will be able to get a lot more done with 2 Reapers than the 1, but more lings are already out, and there's a queen, so he will have to micro carefully, which is what he is doing now. And PulSe only using this queen to take out these Reapers, and DanO with some good micro, he still won't be able to take out this queen, but he is pulling them back to let them regenerate. And speed is now halfway complete for PulSe, and 2 command centers on the way for DanO. So after this Reaper, he is double expanding, and he's already got his factory complete, and he's going to put it onto that reactor, and he might go into Hellion or mine production. And DanO still continuing to be annoying with these Reapers, and some nice micro from him, and he'll be able to clean up all those lings if he continues to micro, and he keeps them both alive. That's good play from DanO. And PulSe is now going in with his Overlord. He sees that there is no expansion, but the bunker is down, which is a pretty good indication to PulSe that an expansion will be coming up for DanO very soon, and you probably know what's flying down. We've got 2 Hellions on the way for PulSe to further harass DanO, and the 3rd is coming down for PulSe. Now that both players will be able to start kicking in their economy, and we'll be able to see what tech path they decide to opt for, and the game will continue progress from there. And these 2 Reapers have been put into this bunker, And we do have Stim now on the way. The second refinery has been taken for DanO, and he will begin to populate his second expansion with those SCVs. And looks like DanO is pushing out with his Hellions. Just gaining some map control, denying Zergling from getting these Zelnugger towers, and now he is further moving out. Probably more denying of map control until he is able to probably go for a run by quite shortly. He has started Stim, and he's got 2 Widow Mines also, so let's checking it out. The double engineering bay for some really fast upgrades. He has now spotted the third of Pulse, and a lot of Lings almost getting this around. DanO's got to be careful, and the Reapers were in a vulnerable position, and now this Queen is caught out of place, and it will probably fall. But the Lings do come to rescue the Queen, and they've done a great job, but now the Queen is getting very vulnerable. 15 health left, and these Lings are going to get cleaned up against these Hellions, which are basically a hard counter to the unit. Pulse has got to find an answer to this. He's got 1-1 coming out with the melee, and he's got another 22 Lings on the way, and behind this we have DanO getting out 3 SCVs at a time with these 3 CCs. Only mining from 2 bases currently, and he's continuing this aggression, and he's got to pull away now. That is a lot of Lings, and his Hellions are damaged, so they have to pull away. Taking another shot, and 1 Hellion does fall, and these they continue to take chase. And behind this, Pulse is now checking down his Roach Warren, and another Hellion falls down, which will be able to deny these Hellions for a lot longer and making them almost useless, besides run-bys and drops. But these things are just going to get cleaned up. These Hellions are doing such a good job. 17 drones now being produced for Pulse. He also has those Banelings, which will also help him deal with these very irritating Hellions. And DanO now just getting up his production facilities, getting out those extra barracks, continuing that Widow Mine production, and he's got a decent amount now, a total of 4, another 2 on the way. His 1-1 is almost complete, and he's got his starport. But what is interesting to note is this Spire from Pulse. He'll be going for, he could opt to go for Muta play, or he could be going for some fast Broodlords, or even Vipers, but yeah, I think he'll go Mutas. And DanO looks like he's going to move out with a few mines, or maybe just place them strategically around the map as he decides to take care of his third after having this command center for quite a while. And looks like he's creating a siege line with his Widow Mines, which is good protection against any run-bys, and he'll be successful. He's probably quite happy now that he's been able to establish that base. We do have Baneling speed down as Pulse does take his 4th base currently and continuing his Ling production. And we do have 2-2 on the way for the Zerg player. He doesn't have much of an army at this moment, and both players are similar on their work account. And looking at the army once again, we have 42 Lings for Pulse, and which are all in this defending his 3rd location currently. And for DanO, we have all those mines totaling at 6, as well as those 10 Marines and these Hellions, which he's continuing to use for map vision. They have easily paid for himself, and Pulse is on the move out with these Lings, probably trying to take out these Hellions, and looks like he'll be able to clean up this Marine with ease. And he really wants his tower, which will allow him to see the movements of DanO, and these Hellions could get caught off guard and surrounded, but DanO is paying attention and manages to get a few more kills. And DanO is advancing his bunker line, and we do have Mutas on the way with +1 air, and another factory coming down for DanO, so he may opt for a tech switch, but he is pretty committed into this mech bioplay, sorry. So I don't really foresee him going into mech at this stage of the game. And we do have a drop on the way as upgrades do increase, continue for both players. The Infestation Pit now finishes for Pulse. Sorry about that, I was just coughing. And this drop is going to be intercepted by PulSe. Good reaction time with that queen there, and quickly sending his links, which are allowed to be so fast because of the creep spread. And a 5th base is also coming down for PulSe, and he's being active with his mutas around the map, and he'll be able to take out this drop fairly easily. DanO surely knows about these mutas now, as they are cleaning up his drop, and not many mutas fall. Looking at the workers kill tab, no worker has actually died, and the hive is on the way for PulSe, which will allow him to continue his tech path. And 3-3 is on the way, so we haven't really seen a major engagement yet. DanO's army is looking not too scary at this moment, but compared to Mutaling, he should be able to sufficiently deal with this. He's going for another drop, which his previous drop was denied with that queen and those speedlings, and looks like PulSe not being able to find this drop. DanO sneaking it around the corner, and we do have PulSe going in with his Mutalist, trying to get some damage, and it looks like he has found a weak spot, and Drilling Claws almost falls, and it's gone down, so he does lose that upgrade, and now he's getting some SCV kills, halting the production from this command center, and he will probably get this orbital command. DanO setting SCVs to repair, and now he's picking off SCVs, and he will get this orbital command. The Marines coming in to support, and PulSe is fighting, and the Marine SCVs managed to repair it, and he got a total of 10 workers killed. That is a decent amount for PulSe. He'll be happy with that. He did manage to kill off that upgrade, but he would have liked to take in the orbital command, and we do have DanO pushing on the other side of the map, and he will take down this 5th base from PulSe quite easily, and he's pushing with the rest of his bio down. And this hatch hasn't really done much for PulSe other than provide some lava and some burrowed widow mines from DanO, already doing some damage. And another scan goes down for DanO, so he can see the positioning of his opposition's army, and looks like we'll have an engagement. The Ling's getting eager and pulling back. We have 5 Ultralisks on the way for PulSe, and this hatchery is going down for PulSe. PulSe will be ready to mount his defense when those Ultralisks do pop. He does have 7 on the way now. The first few popping now. Excuse me. These Ultralisks should be able to do quite a lot of damage, but we do have several Marauders in this composition. PulSe taking another base, which will be his 4th base after losing his 4th base at this location. And another CC coming down for DanO, so he'll be looking to take a 4th base of his own. That attack was quite successful, and now he's got a very big bio ball mixed in with those mines, and continuing scanning, and he has found this hatchery, which he will easily be able to deny. We got the mutas back on the map for PulSe, and we have the Ultralisk army coming to defend against this base, but this base will fall fairly quickly if DanO decides to take it down. But now the Ultralisks have come in, and DanO will have to pull back. Oh, he's getting high ground position, so he'll be able to do quite a bit. But these Banelings connections and these Ultralisks are doing massive amounts of damage. But the bio is just too much. Imagine you take it all down, and this hatchery will fall. The Ultralisks getting fended off, and the Mutalisks, if they were in the engagement, then they could have turned the tide of battle. But there is just way too much for DanO. PulSe really needed those Mutalisks in his army. They're just doing nothing. At least he could have been counter-attacking. And these Marines will probably clean up. Oh no, they're getting cleaned up by the Mutaling. And I guess that you could say that's very successful from DanO, as all these units do fall. Eventually destroyed off by PulSe, and DanO behind this has already been remaxing out. Oh, on his way to remaxing 160's place. He's got 10 more supply than the Zerg player, which is not a good position for PulSe to be in. And both players continuing to stay on the tech path. PulSe now is re-establishing his 4th base, but DanO is also establishing his 4th base. And as a Zerg player, you never want to be on equal bases with a Terran player. and the harvester count is very similar at this stage. And DanO did manage to pick up a few worker kills in that, and it looks like he's going for a drop. He's pushing now into the 4th base of DanO, and he'll get quite a few worker kills. For the army of Pulse isn't really in a really good position, and good positioning now for DanO, trying to get the maximum out of that as he can, and he got tons more kills from that. And I think he might have had another drop or not, but yeah, that was really well done there, and that allowed him to establish his 4th base uncontested. So I'd be quite worried now if I was in Pulse's position, and DanO going for another drop. The Mulus count for Pulse has severely diminished, with him only having those 4, but he does have a heavy Ultralist count. And Pulse picking off a Widow Mine, and we do have these 2 drops coming on the way as DanO moves across the map with his Marine Marauder army, those Widow Mines mixed in, and he's going to drop into the main base, or at this 3rd location, which he's drawing Pulse's army out of position, which is perfect for him to go and kill this 4th base. This is really smart from DanO, and he just pulls a medivac and goes onto the high ground. Pulse's army is completely out of position, and this base will fall. It will be denied again, and Pulse going wow, amazed at the amazement of DanO's skills, and the Ultralist then going down, and there's GG from Pulse. DanO takes the game.